Okay, stream's up. I'm gonna. Let's see, we're in the ASW. Yes, start flight.
Which one are you in?
I'm in the ASW 20, like 15 meter.
Oh, that's a cool ship.
Yeah, it's got a nice panel too.
Yeah. Does it have? It might even have flaps. I can't remember.
This one I don't think has flaps now.
Just you got some fancy wingtips though. Is that the 28 or the?
It's the 28.
Yeah, that is a 28. That is a fancy ship. All right, field elevation 600 feet, 616,
Okay.
and we'll be returning here to land.
Welcome, Cool Penguin, to the stream. Yes, we are streaming with Kyle, yeah. And the background, I'm about to change it. I forgot to change it. I'm gonna change it to that Alaska one, I think, from the last stream.
How'd it turn out?
Oh, I haven't looked at it yet. I forgot to change it. But I think it's gonna be good.
We have a 60-minute start window.
Okay.
I can hear y'all behind me.
Yeah, we're catching up on whatever this plane is. I think this is in Flight Sim. It's called like the Robinson something.
Something like that.
It's like one of those planes that's been in the sim forever, but no one's ever used.
The thermal should be pretty good for the whole flight. There's only like a 10 knot headwind, so it should just be a fun little flight here.
Okay. Nice little thermal flying.
Yeah, and a big one here on tow. There's kind of a house thermal over airport, I sort of noticed.
Yeah. Shoot. Oh shoot. Cool Penguin says, can't you do this in MSFS 2024? Yeah, but the toe... I tried doing the toes in 2024. I haven't got one that actually, like, work yet. I don't think it's that great. Like, the toe plane was bugged, and then when I did the winches, it would spawn it on, like, the same side.
I haven't really tried any gliding appreciably in the new sim yet.
Yeah. Well, I got the weather presets. The weather presets work, and we have... the K6 or whatever, that one works, and the LS4 works.
I do love that K6.
Yeah.
Next. Okay, here's a wave up. I'm releasing.
Yeah, my guy waved me off too. But yeah, I tried the K6 once, but you kind of have to do air tow unless we can figure out how to do the winches or the planes. I mean, at air start.
Yeah.
And then I think the thermals will probably be basically the same as the last sim, but the ridge I think still works. So if you want to do ridge flying.
I still haven't even figured the ridge out in Condor.
Yeah, it's pretty odd.
The one thing I have on you is my bug wipers.
A big old cloud right here.
Yeah, I'm headed under it. I think you're basically right behind me and a little above, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably too downwind. I think I'm gonna turn the circle and penetrate upwind a little bit more.
That seems like, yeah, it seems what it might be like.
Also, maybe not.
No, I think this is kind of the strongest part of it, actually.
Oh, I forgot to remember if there's a limitation on the start height.
I think it says as at a bottom.
Or a top. Is your gear up?
I was just about to pull it up, yeah. I just noticed that.
Center of these thermals should produce like 6 knots or so. Not gonna be super weak. If you can really find out where that center is, you can do pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like it's 6 to 8. I doubt for a second. Maybe on this more western side.
Yeah, I was sort of starting to think the same thing. At your 6 below you.
Let's see if I can try and slow down and tighten this up.
Got like 6.5 pounds of wing loading on this glider, so I think I should be able to out thermal you if I fly good.
Yeah, I didn't look at what mine was. But the LaBelle is probably much lighter.
Definitely, like less than 500 pounds empty.
I didn't. Does Condor account for like pilot weight? Like, what does the pilot weight set as?
I think it's probably just a standard
It's just like
pilot
minimum or
weight.
whatever. Let's see, averaging about like 3.5.
Got 4.5 on my averager here. 4.2. Hey there.
Hey there. My circle just turned red. That might means we're in it, I guess.
The start circle.
Yeah.
You might be.
Oh, we're over it. I think we're over the top.
Okay, that's a good
Because I think
thing to point out.
I think when it's yellow is when you're in it, and when it's red is when you're. This says orange is 0.43, and then I can't tell the way these circles. I think the other one's the finish height is like 10,000 or something. So
Okay, I'm still yellow. Then maybe I'll just start off on task.
yeah, we might have to go.
There's a bunch of clouds up here. We can take the thermal again.
Wait, is towards the airport? Is that where the first slide, or is it the other side? Like where you're
It
going,
is,
that's the first slide?
Yeah, south.
Okay. Let's see if mine will turn yellow again. Alright, now it's yellow. Yeah, top is like 4,300.
This headwind leg is going to be hard. The effective glide ratio is going to go down a bunch.
Yeah.
But should be kind of easy sailing for the rest of it once we get done.
Jesse says, I'm no scientist, but how the hell does the glider stay in the air?
Magic.
Yeah, magic. And also, these big beautiful clouds. What's feeding those clouds is rising columns of air. And we basically go and search for them and then ride them up. And that's thermal form of lift. And then you also have those mountains. Sometimes if the wind's coming at the right angle, the wind will get deflected up from the mountain, so you can ride that too.
Show off. Buzzing me up there.
Carl's in the LaBelle. It's a little bit older glider.
You and your fancy glide ratio.
Yeah.
This thing's like flying a K-21, but just looks a lot cooler.
Here, I'll pop my brakes for a second if you want it.
a lot better run over me.
Yeah.
Your speeds are gonna be faster. But I'm gonna be able to spend less time in thermals.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. This might be our first climb on this one.
Yeah, up to cloud base probably.
I'm doing like 80 knots.
Definitely gonna be going slower, but just see how this shapes up.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I'm just going slower because this glider has the polar drops off a lot faster.
Yeah. And we're not running water ballast either.
Right.
I should have looked. I don't remember what my McCready adjustment is. Oh, Jesse just asked how fast in knots. Well, yeah, it's like 80. Depends. It depends on task. You probably want to do it to like. So, how do I say this? So the better the lift is, it means you'll be able to climb up faster and you won't spend as much time circling. So that means you can afford to fly faster speeds and you can afford to lose more altitude. But if it's a really weak day, then you probably have to go much slower, and because as you speed up, you're gonna sink more, of course. Let's look around our first one here. Might have turned a little early. We'll see if we can outclimb Kyle.
See if we can find the lift here.
There it is. It's like 5 knots. There it is. We'll try and turn, and we got it. The center is, it's like the center is the strongest bit, and then it slowly decreases. So you want to try and see if you can find the center of it, which is a whole art in itself. Now this is a sim, but if it wasn't, I'd try and stay opposite 180 from Kyle so we don't run into each other.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about flying in real life and sharing a thermal with other real pilots.
It's much harder to adjust.
And the fact that you don't really get to be in the best part of the lift because you have to
Get the
make sure you see
yeah.
and have a safe amount of separation from other glider pilots.
Yeah, that's the main thing we practice whenever I go out and fly with others.
I've shared, thermals with like 20 other gliders, and it's pretty. You got to really be alert. I mean,
Yeah, it's more about not running into each other than centering it.
It is some high mental energy flying.
And some high neck power if you're looking over your shoulder. Let's see, my alarm tells me you're at like my 4 o'clock. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Speeding it up a little bit. Here, let's slow it down, trim it up.
It is way more difficult to center thermals in a simulator than it is in real life.
Yeah, that's like the only, yeah, for sure.
Just not being able to like feel it in my butt,
Yeah.
I fly with my butt.
I feel like also sometimes the thermal simulation just doesn't make sense sometimes.
Yeah, the way it's kind of structured and.
I really wish we had that. I guess maybe you have it on your Hawk Vario, but the S80 has like the dots, and I find that's like super helpful sometimes. Which is
it is a nice tool. but I really try to not rely on it.
Yeah. Most of the time when I'm flying this one, I actually look at the mechanical area. It's just more where I usually look. I don't really look to the left side of the cockpit that much.
How does a mechanical vario work?
The mechanical?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, I had to. The
It's kind of a
pressure,
complex thing to go
yeah,
through, you know, but
pressure differences
uh-huh.
and off the off the total energy.
What's the
Or,
what is connected to the variometer?
oh, the is it? It's not pedostatic. Is no, it's Why
It's
am I
part of the
blanking on
pedostatic
this?
system. It's okay. I'm putting you right here on the spot in VR with no way to look it up.
Yeah, it's been a while.
This is just a fun little test. You don't have to, you know. I'm not an instructor. This is not a just a fun little mental exercise.
But what is the answer though? I'm dying though.
So the variometer is connected to the static port, so it's receiving static pressure.
Yeah,
I'm gonna not turn into you here. You're safe. You can keep your turn going. And then on the other side of the variometer is a capacity flask that is a vacuum
yeah.
sealed
Mm-hmm.
chamber, so no pressure can go in or out of it, except in the variometer, there's a little diaphragm that can move in and out. And in that diaphragm, there's a little capillary hole or like a little calibrated leak so that the static pressure that comes into the variometer can slowly, over the course of a few seconds, go into the capacity flask to equalize pressure. But while it does that, that diaphragm that moves, if you descend and the air pressure becomes higher, the static air inside the variometer has a higher pressure than what's inside the capacity flask. So it pushes that diaphragm in while it's equalizing the pressure. And while that diaphragm gets pushed in, there's a little rack and pinion gear system, and that diaphragm gets pushed in and it spins a gear, and that gear spins the needle on your variometer, and vice versa. When you gain elevation, the static pressure inside your variometer decreases, and relative to the air in that capacity flask, that is higher pressure, so that lower pressure static air in your vario kind of draws the diaphragm outward, and it moves that rack and spins the variometer needle to the positive side. And that's the very basics of it.
Yeah, that's kind of. I had the whole the diaphragm envisioned in my mind. I just didn't know how to explain it. The other thing I remember is the total energy, how it like pulls from the back side, so it creates like a vacuum, so it's not influenced by the airspeed.
Yeah, also it could be, let's see, on the Netto Vario, you can connect the Vario to the pitot, to that ram air pressure, and it also uses a little tube with a little capillary restriction, and in the same sense as like a venturi or a slot on the back of a little vertical tube, like a total energy probe, it also cancels out your increase in airspeed or decrease in airspeed.
Hmm.
Um, so pretty cool how people just figured that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been so long since I've like done glider stuff. It's been probably like a month. But I got a month full of Saturdays at ground school, so.
Oh, there we go. Here's a blue thermal. lift than I was getting in that cloud.
Yeah, this is awkward. I think we have to ride this one high enough that we clear the mountains.
Or the clouds if it keeps going up.
Yeah.
I see a cloud starting to form above us.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. It's kind of weird in the. Yeah, there's one up there.
This guy came out of nowhere.
I'm getting like 5.3.
Yeah, I got 6 on the average at the moment.
Well, now mine's up to 5.7. Yeah, it's getting better. Oh yeah, look at that cloud just appeared.
I know, it's crazy.
That's another reason why the sim is better than flight sim is because the clouds will actually cycle.
Yeah, you can like see, even like Tower and Q, you can see the 3 stages of a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
You remember them?
So like building, I don't know what it's. The or cumulus,
Yep, there we go. Good
cumulus,
memory of the
mature,
cloud.
and dissipating.
Yeah, dude, you're getting check ride ready over there, huh?
Yeah.
Some good understanding there. You're shaping up to be a just fine pilot. Not that my opinion matters.
Well, that was a super fast forming queue.
Sure was. I mean, I've never actually seen one in real life whip up that quick. It usually takes a little longer. But
Yeah.
suppose if you've got a really unstable atmosphere, um, you know, once that air parcel becomes saturated, it's going to condense. And if you've got really fast vertical rising air, I bet you that cloud will whip up pretty quick. So
Mm-hmm. Did the cloud cycle in Condor too, or is this new?
it's been so long since I've flown in Condor 2 that I really couldn't tell you.
I can't. I think they probably did. I feel like that's.
There was definitely a big weather update for Condor 3, and so I just don't remember what was there before. And
Not really any ridge, maybe. No, I don't think so. Maybe on that one stretch.
I am not expecting anything.
Yeah.
The guy I flew with back in Texas made fun of me for not using my trim enough, so I'm making a mental effort to trim early and trim often. Bring it back
Yeah.
into my real life flying.
I like always. I'm like constantly touching the trim in the sim because I have it on the axis.
Yeah.
But in some of the gliders I fly in real life, it's kind of a it's kind of hard to like tune it in that really good.
How do you like flying the 102?
The 102 is a nice plane.
I think I'll get a check out in it and fly it
Yeah,
around this coming season.
it's a really nice little ship. I mean, I think that the Discus is like it's nothing compared to like a Discus, but it's still pretty
Sure.
good.
I could fly it longer than the K-21s, since the K-21s are really prioritized for training.
Yeah, my only thing about it is well, it depends. There's a few special things about our the gear doors, so it's like super loud in there. If you have the tail skid, then it can be a little sketchy on ground rolls sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not the most comfortable plane, to be honest. At least the way our seat is set up.
I see.
Like it's fine for a couple hours, but I don't think I could do a 5 hour in it. I don't know.
Sure, sure, I got you. At the same time, I only have a few car payments left, so tempting to take out a loan, but also I'd kind of rather save cash
Mm-hmm.
for a glider that's not too expensive.
Our club is getting another 102 for next season, I think.
Fun.
So the story was, I think it used to be a club ship, and then we sold it to these two guys, and then they were hiring our mechanic to like restore it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked to him, and he said, so they would pay me like 1,000 to do the work, and then do some more work, 1,000, and then just like, I just like stopped. They stopped like doing it, and then I think they decided to just like give it to the club again,
Right.
and now there's a little bit of repair that they need to finish, and then we should probably have it for next season. I haven't seen it though.
Do you guys have a mechanic with inspection authorization at your club?
I don't know if he can inspect. He has his
Is AMP?
he has like half of it, only the airframe.
Gotcha.
But we need like a proper AMP for the tow planes and stuff. One of
Yeah, so
our
sign off on the annuals for the glider.
Yeah, one of my friends there, his dad is an AMP, but for jets and stuff.
Yeah.
So he helps us sometimes when if he's there and something's wrong with the tow plane, but he's not like full time, and he's not
And like
like,
super practiced on small
yeah.
airplanes, composites, and
I forgot what he said he works on. I think 767s or something.
cool. Well, this is a mid-air collision. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I just love Condor and VR. It's such a nice experience.
It's so chill.
There's only one thing I'm really disliking about Condor right now.
And what's that?
They don't model magnetic dip and magnetic
Oh, on the
acceleration
compass.
errors, and Flight Sim does it perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't don't know if you've ever noticed, turns from a north heading, lag, and turns from a south heading.
It's
Uh,
speed up.
yeah, and even acceleration and deceleration errors on east and west headings
Mm-hmm.
work exactly like I see it happen in real life every time I fly.
I haven't I haven't
Yeah,
I haven't really looked at it in Condor. I think it might be a little bit there, but I don't know if it's not enough. I don't think.
I don't really think there's anything. Like we're basically flying westward, slow down here, and what do you expect the magnetic compass to do?
Go to the south.
Hmm.
Let's see. All right, we're flying west. We're gonna speed up. No,
And then
I think it actually might a little bit. I don't know.
if you do any Microsoft Flight Sim today, give it a go. In anything that has a magnetic compass, and it does it remarkably well. I'm so shocked at how well.
Yeah, I remember from the K-21 it would a lot. I think there is a way to get the K-21 in flight sim. I have to look at the Discord again on that.
I do want to try the A380 since they claim better performance in the new sim.
Yeah, I haven't used it since that one time I used the higher version. I haven't used it in the new sim either. But I remember I got the flight plan. I got it to pretty much work without much Airbus knowledge.
The cloud in front of me looks like it's dissipating.
Yeah, it's not so sharp anymore.
No, I'm not even gonna try it.
I don't really want to get stranded in the mountains here, but we'll see.
That's exactly my thoughts as well. So deviating a bit to the left. There's this cloud kind of to the 10 or 11 o'clock from the that previous track.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard decision to make because it seems like there's maybe another cloud right behind it. It's closer and close enough that I'm gonna try it.
Go behind it.
Yeah, there's one
Yeah, that's
behind it, and I see sun on this ridge, and I see a little bit of wind. So, those are at least three signs of lift. So, I think it's just maybe worth it enough to try.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I saw Pavel join the flight sim. I can't share it on Discord, but I'll drop you the link for YouTube.
I don't know that I can easily share my screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the Discord a little bit and also try and fly a glider. It's kind of difficult.
I'd have to like alt tab out, and hope that I maintain control somehow.
Yeah. Alright, this is a Hail Mary that this works, otherwise we have to duck back in the valley and head back to... I'm gonna fly like best of Liberty here. There is a tailwind, or kind of a tailwind almost. Not really.
I'm getting lift.
Alright. Let's look, is it building or no? I can't really tell.
This is gonna work out.
Alright, good.
Gotta be some combination of this like kind of upslopey, thermally kind of air.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's kind of before it. Matthias Sterland, I hope I'm saying that right, says, I see you don't use the LX9070. Why is that? I just don't have it active right now, and I'm better with this one, but Kyle made some really good profiles. I'm just not using it right now.
I forgot to re-enable mine since we flew not too long ago on version 2 scenery, and the terrain maps don't show up there.
Yeah, that's also a thing. And I think if you have the personal one, you can't use it. It has to be the one in the computer in the panel.
I think that's not true. I think that you can enable it on the little PDA as well.
Okay.
At least, I think that I can fly with it on the Labelle, and it does not have a built-in.
But yeah, I could have turned it on. Honestly, I'm just more used to this one right now, but the LX9070, when it's configured right, can be really nice.
It'd be super awesome. It's not something I fly with in real life, so I don't really want to build too much of a reliance on it.
Yeah.
I think I could still kind of practice my real gliding decision making in Condor. Like choosing this lift, those are things I would think about in real life. So.
Mm-hmm. What I think would be cool if we could get like a CU plugin that would go in the sim. I think that would be kind of cool because that's what I use.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there is a dongle. I looked at it. I think it's like $100 or something, but you can plug it in and it should work with Condor on your phone.
Pretty neat. Except in VR,
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm not sure about the CU, but I know the XC Soar, that one works. Matthias says Condor right now is the best tool for using LX. I don't know why. I don't know what you fly with over in the States, but in Europe we use LX a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of LX. We have it a lot over here too. Some people have it, but we don't have it in our panels that much just because it costs so much. But yeah, LX soaring is really cool. I was thinking about maybe getting one of their the nanos for recording as like a backup to my CU. So I might get one of those this year. I'll have to see because I need something to record for badges.
Oh yeah. Got some right behind me on my shelf.
Nice. Alright, let's get a nice line here.
Hoping. But also, we're kind of drifting a little downwind of the horse line, so.
Yeah, it's a pretty small zone too.
Adding some distance, and some direct headwind time. Gotta balance it all out.
Some tall mountains ahead there.
Mm-hmm. Got outs here, though. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah, we should be good. There's plenty of fields too.
Even if a little bit of lee side sink started to grab you, there's little outs in these valleys here as well.
Yeah. Getting anything there?
Yeah, I just found it here.
I see him, Flarm.
I'm gonna keep turning off to your left here, continuing my right turn.
Alright, I'm just offsetting. Let's see if I can join up 180. Oh, you're really steepening it up here.
Are you trying to stay really regimented formation?
Yeah.
Throwing you off. Yeah, ideally I'd be keeping a much more constant speed and bank angle, but it's hard to feel those little tiny accelerations.
In
And
this.
also, yeah, VR, I have like way less peripheral vision as well to kind of sense those things while looking around.
Yeah. Shoot, that's totally disoriented there for a sec. I'm starting to climb into this cloud.
Yeah, I'm already heading out towards that waypoint, picking my line. Some good vertical development on that guide to like our 11 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not even gonna go over there. Gonna fill your wake.
A little lighter weight. Never really felt that much of a lighter weight before.
Me neither. Pretty efficient things. And also, what's the point of really high aspect ratio wings? Why are they better for gliders than like a lower aspect ratio wing?
Because there's much less drag.
What kind?
Induced.
Yeah, and those wake vortices increase the more induced drag you produce. Just think about it. With those long, skinny wings, you have kind of less of a crossover area that the air can slip over, versus a really fat wing.
Mm-hmm. I decided to take some extra height here.
Probably for the better, but
Remember that one task we did over Germany, and that was what got me ahead.
uh-huh. I know I gotta do, something to ultimately win. I have bigger handicap than you, that's for sure. So if we
That's
finish
true,
at
yeah.
the same time, then I do win. So
Who determines handicaps? Is that by race or is it in a manual?
No, it's I'm sure the FAI probably has some sort of
System.
yeah, I bet it's like the glide ratio and the wing loading, and the wingspan determine the handicap, so a higher performance glider receives like less of a handicap, than like a lower performance glider. But to much more I cannot speak, and even that is conjecture.
I'm sorry if the stream is shaky for anyone. I just have to constantly adjust I need to get a better headbands for my quest.
I remember the one on the 2 never working super well for me.
Yeah.
But on the new Quest 3, the default headband is super comfortable.
Hmm.
And I think it's because the actual VR front portion is less heavy. So I think it balances better, and the simple strap is capable of keeping it secure on my face, and that makes it comfortable.
Yeah. And also the headset sometimes messes it up.
Boy, I wish I had so many nice grassy fields here in California.
Yeah.
Don't you hit me.
I think you didn't we test that like the server host is like invincible or something?
No, we found out that not to be true. It's if you hit something with your wing pops off. But if you can hit something with your fuselage, like if I hit your wing with my fuselage,
Mm-hmm.
your wing pops off. That's
Ah,
what we
okay.
discovered. Hoping this little upwind bowl of valley area will connect to this cloud and give me some lift.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It's about the same as the other thermal, so I'm not really losing much. Well, this might be the best one of the day.
Yeah, I'm getting some good lift.
And we got "You're most welcome" in the chat. He says, "Late arrival. What's today's task?" It's just a triangle on AA3. Thermals, a little bit of headwind. Pretty decent thermals. I'd say like medium to nice.
I'm getting the best lift, you know, when the sun heats like a nice mountain face or little ridge face here. That's
Yeah.
kind of a nice thing to see modeled that well in Condor.
Yeah, these blue thermals have been pretty good. Alright, I'm kind of going in it now. I should probably hit
You found the
this.
core, yeah, better than I did. Beat me
Yeah, I got on
here.
like the first turn, I think. Did I? Second or third, actually. Alright, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative because I'm not... Actually, that looks like a good line there. Outside the turn point, then we have a little bit of a quartering tailwind kind of thing. Up to the
Finally
top.
have some ground speed here.
Yeah. Well, it's like this goes towards the edge of the map. I wonder what's on the edge of the map.
I think nothing.
Oh, what if it's just like a wall? I want to see what happens.
We'll probably be able to see it from altitude when we get over there.
Or if I wonder if they kind of like model a little bit, but it just like, there's like a physical barrier where you can't go past. It's like low res on the outside or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't seen it yet.
We'll have to see. Like a COD map or something like that. I'm still praying for snow tomorrow. I don't know how much it's gonna be. Everyone keeps saying different numbers.
Hope you get a nice amount, send some cool photos. It's
Yeah.
been a while since I've seen snow.
Massiville. Oh, I'm not even gonna say that.
I think you were pretty close.
Massiville.
Huh?
Oberber. It's like French and German or something. Wait, where are we?
I don't remember.
This might be Switzerland, I'm not sure. It looks like it's on the border of everything. I can't really tell from this map, though. Alright, that looks like a good line up ahead.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at hitting as well.
After I hit a thermal, I might pop the headset off for a little bit and see if it'll switch back.
Yeah, it should go right back just to your desktop.
It says, do you guys play on the open servers much? Yeah, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. The only thing is like to join in the race, like when we make our own servers, you can't start the task until the gate closes. So that's the main thing that I wish Condor would change, so that we could have more people join. But yes, sometimes we do fly on the open servers, but if there's no task, like sometimes late in the day when Europe's not on, we can't find a task.
Or like, I don't want to commit to like a 500-kilometer task.
Yeah. But some of them will just be like open with no task, or the task doesn't start for like 18 hours or something, and it's like, that's where we like make our own. But it's usually.
Check out.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If I see a task that I think looks cool, though, I'll go check it out and then save the flight plan and weather and stuff for us to use.
Yeah, I did one public race one time. It was like midday, so there were a few open, and I got most of the way through it. But then I didn't see. I thought the task went through. Like I thought the flight plan went through a different area, and then I accidentally fell into a valley with thunderstorms and no lift, and I landed out. But I got like midway through, so it was pretty good. Yeah, this is. I'm too busy talking. I just circled in nothing for like 2 minutes.
That'll do it. That was what was happening to me when I was explaining the variometer.
Yeah. Alright, looks like the headset's coming off now. It's slipping off my head. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm in.
Switch over?
Yeah, I'm in normal world now.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, shoot, I forgot how you zoom in.
I have it remapped on my keyboard to make sense to me, so.
I don't remember if I have a zoom button. I don't think I do.
It might just be plus or minus, but that could also just change your Colesman setting.
He says, aha, I'm Australian. If I want to find anybody on a server, it has to be before 7 a.m. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of American servers either, which is kind of a shame. And if they're on like random sceneries with like 2 people in it. But looking today, it's definitely picked up since the game first released. But you guys are lucky you get the soaring seasons now. We're in the dead of winter and there's nothing. Well, some places get some good wave right now in California.
That's exactly what I'm hoping to see here at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I'm starting to look for wave weather to go up and fly.
Mm-hmm. There's even some airports around me. Well, I went one time and searched for wave, but I missed out. So some of the people there though got like 8,000. So it is there. It just depends where you go. And ridge flying I think can be good too. Oh, especially ridge because the winds have been crazy recently. I'd imagine they're getting good out on the Appalachians. Alright, I actually have to lock in here. I'm losing ground.
Is this guy producing?
A little bit, yeah, but I just haven't centered it because I. Yeah, there it is. He says, I'm real world flying Wednesday, looking forward to it. Nice.
What are you flying?
Yeah, what you flying in?
You'll have to be the in-between guy since you can see.
Yeah. I think New Zealand would be a really cool place to fly.
I bet.
Just watching Pure Lights videos, it's such interesting terrain out there. You get like convergence, wave, ridge, thermals.
Seems like one of the perfect places to soar.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm gonna take the strats at cloud base. So I don't have to key my way around trying the thermal or center.
A lot of sync out here, so probably for the best.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty long hop. Let's see if I can trim this so I can drink some water. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm back, and you're most welcome. Just said, I'm a new pilot, and I've had 10 solos in a DG-1001 Neo. Ooh, I technically qualify to be put in the club's beginner single-seater junior, but have had a couple of weeks off, so we'll see what happens next. Yeah. Yeah, definitely keep practicing in the 1000 and then till you feel good enough for a single. That's the one thing about singles is like you're just up, no one can help you once you're up there. Like you can't train on it before a solo.
Although that's when I started to feel like a pilot, was when I was out of the training glider and into a small little fancy cool looking ship.
Yeah. DG-1000 I think is a pretty good performance too, though.
The thick glider, yeah.
But that's always a cool thing is, well, the Grove 102, it's a little bit better performance. I think it thermal's much better than a 103.
For sure.
But I think with wind penetration, it's not as good.
Sure. What's the glide ratio? Do you remember?
On a 102, I've seen varying opinions. I think, well, it also depends on the condition. I don't think ours is probably that great. But I think by stock, I'd have to look at the manual, but I think it's like 38 or something.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think ours would probably be closer to 30, without gear doors and with the extra like wrap on it and stuff. But on a good day, you could bring it cross country.
Yeah, I bet. Gosh, I've known guys to use 126s to like do almost 1,000-kilometer flights.
Yeah, that's incredible. Usually our club trains beginners and ASJ 21s, but I'm too tall to fit in them, so I was lucky to learn the DG. Ooh, nice. I've never flown a DG. I think they're pretty good though. There's that one in the in MSFS with the Fez version. I think we flew that a couple times.
Our club has like a DG 500, I can't remember, that they do a little cross-country training in, but it's more expensive to rent, so.
Yeah, I'd imagine. The Duo is a super fun ship to fly. If you're ever gonna take someone like well, there's a few good twin seat cross country ships. I guess you got the Twin Shark, Arcus, and Discus, the Duo. I think the Arcus might be. I think that's what everyone's using in the competitions now, though. Arcus M or something.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool ship.
I think I'll put the headset back on for the final leg.
I just got a Quest low battery warning, so.
Hmm. Mine usually, mine will usually hold charge when it's plugged in.
I think because my cable's getting wonky, it's not charging at the full rate, so.
Hmm. I don't even have an actual Quest link cable. I just have this USB cord. And it's like sometimes it's just long enough that I can turn my head all the way around.
Yeah, that's good. This one I probably shouldn't have spent the money on, but I bought it a long time ago, and it's a glass fiber cable, so that's probably why it's getting funky.
Yeah. I've never tried AirLink. I don't know how well that works.
Just need a really good router. And probably like a clean Wi-Fi channel that your neighbors are not also using.
Oh, it's Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Flum's really angry at me. Oh my god.
There is.
There we go. That was a good, perfect join. Well, not perfect, but we survived.
Kind of flipping in and out of it.
I think I got it. Maybe.
Yeah, it's better like right here where I... I'm really interested to see if there's some convergence on our last leg because there's like a little different weather zone up there.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Did we get it that one time? I can't remember.
Yeah, there was definitely something over there.
Alright, let's see what this edge of the map looks like once we get there.
I feel like I can see it, but maybe that's just the end of the rendering of the horizon.
Yeah, it kind of just like fades off almost.
See some haze out there too. I also keep forgetting to freaking run my bug wipers.
I'm too cheap for the XE version. Bugs, give me the bugs. What is that? What is that turn point? Does that say Dogeville? Dogen?
Something close to that.
Doge? Some cool towns.
I like this part of the map here because it's a good mix of little mountains and valleys and landable stuff.
Mm-hmm. And none of it's streamed, so we don't have blurry textures. Like in
What a concept.
Alaska where we were like 2 miles out on final and the airport's still not loaded in.
I know, the same is happening.
It's just so it's so hard to make a good landing when it's like you can't have any good reference that far out. Oh geez, so I don't think I might have to stop on the right, but I don't know if I can make that cloud all the way off. We'll push for it. I think I can.
That one to the right does look good, but
It-
I'm hoping just to see some better stuff straight ahead.
Your most welcome says, I'd be curious to know if wiping your wings actually makes a difference. I think it makes a pretty good difference. What is it, like 25% or something in real life?
In Condor, yeah, I think it definitely makes a difference. In real life, when, the wing is less perfect, does it truly make a difference? Well, probably, because it is definitely disrupting, the flow or the boundary layer. Laminar flow is definitely going to get tweaked a little bit, but by how much and amount that you notice, it's kind of hard to say, huh?
Yeah. Well, it also depends where you're flying. I think in Europe they have a lot of bugs, but it's not usually a huge problem out here. And you can also adjust the amount of bugs in the air and the wind. I usually turn mine off so I have the advantage, but Kyle always turns it on the highest or whatever.
I usually actually keep it on low because
Low.
even low I think is kind of a high amount of of cruise.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty crazy amount of boats. And you didn't really get any on the canopy either. I'm on offset to the left here. Try this one.
I'm sort of just dolphining here. And really, that cloud ahead of us looks better, but I'm below 5 now, so.
Uh,
Yeah, nothing really worked out there for me.
There's 6 knots.
I see.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. You're most welcome. Appreciate you stopping by.
Probably gonna have to invest some time into the next climb here.
Oh yeah, for sure. You better hope that works out for you.
For sure.
In real life, I don't. Oh, yeah. In real life, I don't know if that would be that would be a risk worth taking. Maybe if you were racing.
Yeah, I ran into a lot of sink in between, so I've lost like 1,000 feet just in this run to this cloud, which I didn't expect.
Nice to actually just try to stream live. I watched a few fair old ones when I was getting my head around Condor. Yeah, there's this one guy who streams a lot. I forgot what his name was. I think he's German, but he usually gets like 20 viewers or something. He streams almost every day. That's the one thing about streaming Condor is there's not that many people who actually play it, and so you have less competition on YouTube, like the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, if you ever want to get Condor, it's definitely a great sim. I think it's worth the money. And there's not any better lighting alternatives out there really. It's also cool if you ever go back and watch one of our old streams. The new multiplayer and the duo and those planes is super cool.
This is, with certainty, the best gliding simulator.
Yeah. Just imagine if they had more than 2 devs.
Now I want them to make a label with wingtips.
That would be a cool feature if they added where you could change what wingtips. Because I know some people will sometimes have to change them out due to competition handicaps and stuff. Because I don't think it's not always worth it. If it's like not great conditions, it's not worth the handicap, I guess.
Or the extra wing loading.
Yeah.
You picked the better thermal. This cloud started to die on me.
They better find something. You must, yeah, I actually got it after watching you guys. I've also found it helpful for practicing launch failures cross one as well. Great, I'm glad you helped and you got it.
I think it's awesome for like thinking about your aiming point, even though you can't necessarily like use the same point
Mm-hmm.
when you're flying in real life. There's a lot of use you can get out of this simulator.
Yeah, like when I fly the pattern at our club, of course, like the terrain it's not that greatly modeled on our scenery, but it feels just like flying the pattern in real life, so it's definitely helpful. Centering thermals, or yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I have the same visual points, in my pattern when I fly over at Crystal. Exactly right.
Mm-hmm. I think centering thermals, it's just that's one thing you still have to do in real life. You can't really learn it that well unless you're a complete beginner and just want to get the idea of it. But cross country, it's definitely good because you can push it all the way and just see how things will play out. You're not gonna have to jump out of your gaming setup.
You wear your softy when you play Condor.
He says, for sure, I found it helpful getting my eye on approach angles. Yeah. What else? What else have I done it for? Trying to think. I've done like aerobats and stuff is kind of cool. What we can do in here. And of course the competitions practice and all that.
Good way to practice speed to fly theory.
Yeah, that for sure. I have to remember what I have it mapped, I think, but I have to find my McCready button so I can use it. And the cloud simulation is really good too. You can practice on, is this cloud going to be better than, or is this going to be?
Definitely the best like cumulus clouds in simulation.
Yeah, probably. And that's one of the main things. I remember there was something in DCS and they pulled the community on what feature they wanted, and it was just better clouds.
It adds the immersion.
Mm-hmm. I think Flight Sim could go for some better clouds. The look of it's good, but the actual like simulation is like, eh.
Yeah.
Live weather's pretty good though.
I'm glad I saw some like cirrus clouds though yesterday on our flight.
Yeah. Because it's not the only time it's really dynamic is when it's on live. Other than that, it's all just like static clouds. I think for Ridge, Microsoft Flight Sim might actually be better than Condor.
At least I feel like I know how to use it better than Condor right now.
Yeah, Condor just feels overly weak. I don't think, like, you turn up the winds to max and it's like mediocre lift at best. But you also get wave, and the wave in Condor is pretty incredible. I don't know about this one. I think I'm gonna ditch that thermal.
Yeah, me too.
Trying to look here. Let's see. Yeah, that's dissipating, I think. Alright, we're coming up on... I think that says Donyaville or something like that.
Could
I
be right.
I think there's an N. I think it's Dogne. Donyaville. That's how I... If it's French or whatever, that's how I think you'd say it. Now this
Well,
one...
the course line through it makes it hard to read.
Yeah. This one might be building. It's swirling up there, that's for sure. Let's see. Is it dissipating? Is it building? I'm on the downwind side of it anyway. Zero sync. 1 knot, 2 knot. See, when you look up at the cloud, the lift's actually like where you'd expect it to be on the upwind. That's 2 knots, but I think it's dissipating. That one over there looks pretty good. We should have enough altitude. Oh my god.
There's an airport literally right beneath it, the waypoint. So
Oh, that is it. It is an airport.
yeah,
Okay. Of course, now I'm trying to find the lifts. What's cloud base at? Oh, I haven't been looking. Probably what, 6,000?
maybe 7.
7, 6, yeah. We could always scroll back in the stream and see where it topped out. Also, make sure you're on a live mode or refresh your tab every once in a while. Sometimes the stream lags. Carl, did you get the stream on Discord?
Yes.
Okay, so if you do want to look at the label, you can join the Discord and he's in there. Alright. Donyaville, we're coming. Oh, let's look at a little slip. Yeah, let's look at a cool airport.
Nice grass runway.
Yeah, or your Starlink. Oh, Starlink. That's interesting. It's kind of interesting that some people have like Starlink and internet in their gliders now.
Yeah, get your live CU cloud coverage updates.
Yeah. Well, I saw Steve Fly was using it. He streamed on Instagram while he was in the cockpit. I'm like, oh my god.
Pretty funny.
I think there's a point where, like, you gotta I don't know if you should be mixing live YouTube with flying.
All those distractions.
I don't know. I could never take a selfie stick out the little wing window.
I did back when, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. Well, I want to do single pilot. Maybe if there was another guy flying. How do you extend it? Like you have to like fish it out, like.
Just on a little telescoping pole that you just extend. Or they're all slightly different, but they're pretty easy to use.
Okay. You digging for something down there?
It's working.
It's been pretty much crosswind or headwind the entire test. I'm looking to the left. I think the edge of the map is just haze. We could try and fly all the way out there, but I
It
don't.
looks kind of just like soft, terrain sort of into nothing.
Yeah, that would make a great YouTube short. What happens when you fly to the edge of the Condor map? Maybe that can be our task for one time when we have nothing else to do. We can pick an airport out here and just fly, see what happens.
Race you to the edge.
This thermal's not bad. No, that's 6 knots. It's kind of a big cloud. I was just wondering, try a different spot maybe. But I feel like the theme of Condor is usually if you find lift, you always gonna take it.
I'm definitely investing some time in this climb.
Yeah. What rates are you getting over there? I'm getting like 6 at the best.
4 on the averager.
Okay, maybe I'll shift over. Yeah, that's a bit better now. Let's see, farm tells me he's behind me.
Just beneath you, really.
Okay. I think the ASW, like the whole AS series, the Schleicher, I think that might be some of the best looking gliders.
Definitely do look really great.
Got a long leg back.
Need 60-to-1 glide ratio to get there right now.
Mine's saying 53 something. What's crazy is you can almost get that in the duo. But you're probably gonna have to take like 3 climbs.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna have to take more than that.
Let's see, we're at 5,000. Base is probably, yeah, 6 or 7 maybe.
If we knew the temperature on the ground and the dew point on the ground, how might we guess the cloud base?
I honestly don't remember the formula, but I have the E6B to do it for me sometimes.
Nice. You just subtract the dew point from your temperature.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in Fahrenheit, you divide it by 4.4, and then you multiply it by 1,000.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I'm gonna see how far back I can push this before it starts to spin. It's full stick back, like half trim. Well, it'll fly pretty slow. We're at 6,000 almost. Come on, give me 6,000. 6,000 now. And then, yeah, at cloud base is almost probably a few hundred feet above this. Do you guys use Celsius more in aviation in the US? For the most part, I feel like it depends. Depends where you go. Most of the ATIS is usually almost always in Celsius.
Sort of thinking Celsius now. Even my phone is set to Celsius.
Yeah. I don't think I use my PC whenever I look at PC temperatures. I've always done that in Celsius. Most of the aviation stuff is Celsius though. But it's kind of weird because I think my E6B defaults to Fahrenheit, so you always have to switch it over when you listen into an ATIS or an ASOS or something.
Yeah. Calculate your density altitude.
Oh yeah. There's this one station. I have the number saved in my Doylestown, and they'll tell you the density altitude, and I've gone and used their numbers, and it's pretty much the same when you calculate it.
Yeah. Is it a phone number you call?
Yeah, phone number.
An ASOS?
ASOS, yes.
Remember, that's a silly question, but you remember what ASOS stands for?
Oh my god, automatic. I'm blanking on this one.
Automated Surface Observation Station.
Okay.
So looking at surface weather from the surface.
All right, this is an interesting use. 3 Enage says, "What are you flying and where are we going?" So we're in AA3 map. So I think we're in southern France or Switzerland or Germany, somewhere up there. I'm flying the ASW 28 and Carl's in the Lebel.
Just behind you.
Yeah.
Look, I see the edge of the map up here. You see the clouds to the kind of the terrain to the north, and it just has like a hard drop off.
Um,
Kind of to our north east.
yeah.
You see that hard edge? I think that must be it.
Uh, maybe. No water ballast today. And bugs are high, but I don't have bug wipers, so that's his advantage over me.
Except I keep forgetting to use it.
Some streeting almost, a little bit.
Maybe possible convergence, because
Oh, in between.
sort of changing too.
You think in between these lines, maybe?
Yeah, kinda. These clouds sort of might be the result of it. Sort of hard to guess.
We need that sky sight integration in Condor now.
Yeah, first you have to pay for your in Condor Starlink subscription, and then you can pay for your in Condor SkySight subscription. That'll go on your in Condor in-flight Starlink linked portable device.
Yeah. I know. Well, I think you can load, you can get SkySight to overlay with a lot of these. It's just from when you took off. It won't update.
It's older data,
Yeah. Well,
unless it has a connection.
yeah. I think sometimes you can get a connection. Like sometimes when I'll fly, and I'll get text messages, and I'm just like I can't answer. Just get off my phone. And then I'll be like, why do you never respond? It's because I'm in a glider. I can't respond.
Yeah, sorry, dog. Gotta fly the thing. Gotta aviate.
I'm gonna aviate, then I'm navigate, and then I'll communicate later. Much later.
Yep. Specifically in that order.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you're gonna get the run on me here. You could just fly faster. You could just outrun me.
Maybe, yeah. This is a pretty good thermal, though. I'm gonna take this.
Okay. This is a great looking cloud.
Your Muslim says, it's funny, I have to use Starlink for internet at home in Australia. Our cable network are so hopeless that if you live outside of your internet, your internet is Stone Age speed. Wow. I just not great coverage. I kind of live in a dead zone, but I think we get by with just cable. It's okay.
I'm fortunate to live in a big city with a lot of people and a lot of infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly take advantage of that with my internet.
But it's so weird out here. It's like you can drive 10 minutes and it'll be in like 5G perfectly. It's really interesting. I think Kyle's probably heard this story, but one of our guys who was ferrying a Globe 109 across from California to Pennsylvania, he accidentally butt dialed his wife at like 8,000 feet over like Iowa or something like that. It's because
Great.
they have much higher power phone service towers out there, I guess, to cover more space. So that's how I can reach higher up.
I haven't looked in California because where I fly is the desert and signal's not that great anyway. But in Texas, I could get signal up to like 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
I could fly over my house and call my parents and say, "Hook up."
Alright, now is where I just speed through, ride these dolphin here. I think that's my plan. Only need 32 to 1 to make it there now.
Pretty good.
So with some lift, we should be good, I think. I usually find that my phone will be quiet for days, but then but the second a tug is hooked up to the ladder I'm sitting in, it'll come. Hold on, let me read this message again. I usually find that my phone will hold on, my emoji thing's covering the message. I usually find that my phone will be quiet for days, but the second a tug is hooked up to the ladder I'm sitting in, all the calls and messages. Yeah.
That's how it happens.
No, and then you have to send that message to everyone. It's like I'm like flying, see ya, and then they'll be like okay, and then you can use that as an excuse for the entire day not to pick up.
Sorry, I was flying. See ya. There's some terrain up here that, even though we have the required energy to get to the airport, I don't know if we'll beat the terrain. So
Yeah,
take a circle here.
your base is really close. Oh shoot, I didn't put my VR back on. I'll do it for landing, I think.
It's so much easier to land in VR. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think this is worth taking to the top.
I'm pretty much at the top. I could climb through it if you want. Oh shoot, I don't want to get cloud penalty points.
You're right. We're not that far beneath the base.
Base is, yep, 7,000 on the dot pretty much. Or 6,600. Oh yeah, that's inside the cloud.
Let's call it 68.
Yeah, I'm just chilling doing some cloud flying. I'm gonna go to Europe, get my cloud flying rating. There's this one guy, if anyone's ever interested, I forgot what his, it was something cloud surfing with, I forgot what his name was. But he only uploads videos of him, like cloud flying in, his glider in Finland, and it's really cool.
Oh,
I'll see if I can look him up here.
the quest is it. Throws me off.
Yeah, cloud surfing with Christian. I'll drop a link to his thing in the chat. Hopefully you guys should be able to see it, because I'm here. Yeah, check that out. All right, I'm gonna focus on where I'm flying now. I'm trying to off course here.
Hopefully the quest will charge up enough by the end of this leg.
Mm-hmm. I'm making 28. I need 25 to make it. Oh, it's gonna be close. If I can speed his life over the mountains. Some of those European guys put some amazing videos. I gotta read these messages twice before I actually say it. Some of those European guys put some amazing videos up of wave flying in the flight level. So yeah, for sure. In the Alps there, they can get some crazy height.
This little cloud right ahead of us is dissipating away.
Yeah. There's some up ahead that should work out though.
Yeah.
Anyways though, you don't sleep on some of these. At the Appalachian Mountains, some people can get up to like 20,000. They can get some pretty high flight levels if you get the winds high enough. California can be pretty good too. I mean, anywhere with like a somewhat of a mountain and high enough winds, you can get wave output pretty much. You did some down in Australia, I think too. There's some mountains down there, isn't there? In southern part, I forgot what it's called. I thought I saw some videos of some. I don't think it was super high altitude, but they got some wave. You searching for clouds over there?
Oh, just flying in a flat 2D environment.
Mm.
Less than 20 nautical miles to go, though.
Yeah. You know, maybe over there in that valley, if I get a little bit of lift here, I can maybe squeeze through. We do get some here in Oz, yes. Our ranges just aren't anything like yours or Europe's, yeah. I think New Zealand is pretty good too. New Zealand. I don't think in Africa, I don't think there's much soaring spots in Africa. Of course, in South America, what are these mountains called? But that's where they set the record wave flights in Perlin, in Argentina.
Trying to decide what gap to take.
Yeah. Namibia is more thermals. It's super epic thermals, not wave. Well, one of our guys from our club went to Namibia. It's called oh, what's the soaring with the champions or something is what it's called. I think it's 8 days. I think I looked it up. It was like 10K or something, but it's almost good flying every day, and he did these like massive flights and doubled our weed light store. So yeah, it's definitely a cool place to visit. 17,000 off thermals is like amazing. There's a little bit of lift you could off this thought you could work.
Popped the headset back on. Just
Nice.
briefly. When it pops out of VR, I don't have sound coming out for some reason. So
Is
kind
this
of
is this
optimal.
is it sound on your headset?
No, it's through my headphones, but I'm not sure why. It just doesn't switch over.
Hmm.
So it's a lot harder to actually fly.
Yeah, maybe it's something with your Windows too. Maybe I don't know.
Getting some lift there.
Yeah, let's see. I'm averaging at 4 knots.
Okay.
Oh man, there is a little cloud on the mountain there. I'm gonna just keep climbing though, I think. I mean, once I clear the mountains, I can just speed it on home.
Yeah.
He says my Quest 3 does that with sound sometimes in MSFS 24. It keeps the sound when you take the headset off. Yeah. I did VR one time in the new sim, but I have to see it. In the past, whenever you take it off, like it like crashes the sim or something. But I have to try. It might be a bug just with the headset.
Yeah. Just won't switch over.
I'm almost confident that I can clear it, but I'm gonna keep climbing.
I can focus enough just for a little bit of climb here without it. I can just also have a final glide.
Mm-hmm. This one, I think cloud base might be a little bit higher. This is like 66. Or 7, probably. Alright, one more turn. What the heck? Sometimes my variable will just randomly reset like that. Let's just stall. We'll stall practice, come on. I wanted to pull it up all the way. Let's see what happens. Might get more high aspect. There we go. There we go. Little recovery. Pretty easy. I remember flying the Blandith. Man, that thing is not very forgiving. I did like a loop or something a few hundred feet off the ground. Just like smashed it in it. Alright, let's speed it up there. I think if you had an LH nav, it would tell you what glide ratio you need to clear the mountains or something.
Yeah, it probably would calculate the terrain.
Or it can do the shadows thing. Which I just think is such a cool feature. Where it's like everywhere you can't go is in red and where you can't. But that'd just be like I think that's the best probably feature on a glide computer you can get. Let's just listen into the audio quality of the stream. What do you guys think? Is the mic too loud? Because I think it's kind of hard to hear Kyle sometimes. So I can.
I've got my mic's turned all the way up.
Yeah, it's just the way I have it mixed in OBS. Because right now is like the perfect volume for my headphones, but I think the way OBS is taken in the microphone is louder. You can hear me perfectly, but Carl's quite silent. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go in the after the stream for the next one. I can go in and turn this volume down so everything just sounds quieter, and then you guys can just turn the volume up and hear it better. Because I can't mix the distort in OBS.
I'll just start yelling, screaming. I'm gonna be doing a flyby of these power cables down here,
Oh man.
but in a cool way.
Yeah, quality is quite good, but Kyle is a bit quiet. Yeah. Yeah, I just got this new microphone, so it's also because it's on the boom mic. It doesn't move with my face, so if it ever fluctuates when I'm moving around, that's why. I'm still trying to find the right distance from it.
Especially if you're in VR.
Yeah, in VR, looking around. And it's not the greatest arm either. So if I ever like push it on the desk too hard or something, then it'll bounce around. I mean, $70 is kind of crazy what you can get.
These power lines are awesome.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I see where you are. It's cool. Kyle's like a quiet voice of reason in the background.
Funny.
Yeah, you're most welcome. That one gives you a mod. That was. We'll see. You later. You want to do airliners?
Yeah, this afternoon I'm still free. Can take a little break. I gotta make some lunch.
Yeah, I know. I think my mom's making soup or something.
Nice. Also, I still still need to go to the grocery store and figure out something for dinner. Although I have a plan.
He has a plant. That's what matters.
I think it'll be a good chicken pot pie
Mm.
Sunday afternoon.
Shoot, I hope there's not a minimum finish altitude.
I do not think that there is.
I think it says that. I think it's labeled as like a maximum something.
You can scrape it in as close to the ground
Let's see, what's my... Yeah, I'm about 1,000 AGL.
You see, you made up all the difference on this leg where it was just running.
Yeah. If I was more locked in, we both probably would have done better.
For sure. If I had a full freaking battery on my quest.
That was a super cool flyby. You can see the guy like moving his head as you fly by. It just looks so more realistic. Alright, let's see. Push down here. You almost made it. I wonder what's our speed on task so far. Let's see. Speed is 44 knots, I think. That's not too bad.
Like, almost 100 kph or so.
Probably. If you were gonna do longer flights, it should probably be a bit higher though. Well, if there is a minimum, there's a bunch of good clouds over here I should be able to make. It's crazy how well these things slide. Like I got my engine like I got my engine shot up in DCS in the P-51 and it just sank like a rock.
Yeah. The space shuttle.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely land back at the airport. Emergency landing. And I was like, oh nope, I'm like 200 feet short. Same thing with the I was doing like a simulated tow in the in that Cessna air tractor thing in VR and flight sim, and it just sits like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so cool flying in that because I felt like you were really like a tow pilot. All right, this says. Is that 2,000? I can't read it on this thing.
It doesn't. 13 to 32, maybe.
I think it says 10. I can't read it. We're gonna see right now. And hey, there we go. Aerobatics time.
Just 2.5 nautical miles behind you.
I'm gonna see if I can spin. How do you usually enter a spin in this game?
Just a good yawing moment when you stall.
That did not work.
And then back pressure. Just straight without aileron.
Yeah, mine almost gets me into a spiral dive when I try this. Just trying to skid it.
was a good task, dude.
Yeah.
We really nailed our final approach here.
Yeah, it did a spiral dive pretty well, but not really.
Yay. And I finished first. You still there? I just put my headset on.
Oh shoot, I have my mic muted. Sorry, I was. I'm bad. I'm still here.
I beat you.
Yeah, you did. I think the handicap beat me.
And to be honest, I was just a few minutes slower, but my speed was just under yours, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go gear down, flaps none, speed, I'm gonna do 60, trim for it, air brakes, full symmetrical close, we'll lock them right now.
He said. He said, "Where are those circuit calls?" And okay.
Traffic, glider 1 Alpha Charlie, entering right downwind, runway,
Two.
18 maybe, land.
Yeah. Glider Tango is on a left, turning left base for runway. I honestly don't know. Yeah,
You can call it 18.
18. On a
Probably
carriage.
15 or something like that.
On a carriage speed trim. Oh, you might be landing on the opposite side. I can't tell.
I'm doing a right downwind here. And I'm turning base right now.
No, this is runway. Oh yeah, you're landing.
to the south.
You're landing on the other side. I'll try and meet you halfway.
Okay. Gear down and locked.
Float it down. Float it down. Floaty, float it. Keep on. Come on. Oh.
Are you off the runway or on the runway?
I'm on there. I'm gonna turn right to this
Okay,
this
we'll meet
little.
at the hangar.
Yeah, the hangar.
This is so fun. Alright, gears down and locked.
Oh my god, those bugs. That's crazy. Got absolutely peppered there. Oh, it's because we're opposite ways. I can't see the landing that well.
Keeping it floating off and
Not too bad.
a beaut.
We stop it on that brake.
I'm actually not. I mean, I closed the speed brake.
Oh, it's just your tail is just coming up a lot.
Yeah, I was keeping it flying on the main wheel.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're doing.
But I feel like the friction when you hit the ground is a little too high. Like, I should be able to keep rolling.
Yeah, and in flight sim, it's too low.
Well, what a great task. An honorable opponent. Let's see. You were 2:03 in 53 seconds, so I was just under 2 minutes slower.
Mm-hmm.
And you had just over a kilometer an hour on me, but no penalties in a great race.
Yeah. You're most welcome. Says really enjoyed that, guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah. thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. That was a fun stream back in Condor.
And
Um,
and we completed a task.
yeah, we did the task. Decent weather. We'll probably. It looks like we're gonna be streaming some sort of airliner flight a little bit later today, if anyone's interested in that. But yeah, that'll probably be it for now.
It was a fun one.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, I should have made sure you got a screen capture before I exited if you wanted one, but
Oh, no worries. If you want to take one and send it to me for the thumbnail, just
I already I didn't even look at the logbook to see how long the flight was.
uh, here I'm gonna turn down the audio a little bit. Tell me if you guys can hear a little bit. Is that if that's any better?
Check, check, check.
It might still be low. We'll see.
How else? How do you see flight analysis? No.
After you leave, it should give a pop up.
Yeah, but after you
After
all
you,
leave that,
you might have to save it. I'm not sure.
maybe you go to pilot logbook.
Yeah,
Found it.
logbook. Yeah.
2 hours 22 minutes. Well, slower in the club class ship. I bet if we did like an 18-meter ship, we could have done it much faster. But that was a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, let's see our entire logbook here. We got a lot. Let's see how many flights have we done. That was our
Uh,
64th. I have more real life flights than Condor still.
nice.
Uh, yeah, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go eat some dinner now.
All right, cool, dude. Catch you later, and maybe I'll revisit. We can pick a whatever airline route sounds cool.
Yeah, you can plan something. All right,
All right, see you, dude.
see ya. All right, see y'all YouTube.